Så folkens, så er vi klar. Hej, velkommen til. Det her bliver noget lidt anderledes. Vi skal nemlig spille noget Dungeons and Dragons. Og jeg håber, I er klar på det. Og det er noget, vi kommer til at streame hver onsdag. Så det bliver super hyggeligt. Så ja, jeg håber, I er klar. Nu skifter vi i hvert fald over til det andet, så vi kan komme i gang. Håber jeg, vi skal finde ud af det her. Så folkens, så er vi live.
Dejligt. Jamen, skal vi så ikke bare kaste os ud i det?
Lad os det.
I kan godt høre.
Hvad siger du?
Eller ikke?
Ja.
Det skal vi da.
Yes.
Kan I høre mig?
Ja.
Ja.
Sagtens.
Okay. Super. Jamen, så starter vi. For millennia, the Elven Sea has been a contested region. In the past centuries, the Telengranian Empire to the west and the Kingdom of Cilia to the east have fought over the Elven Isles and the slaves found there. Some elves from the Elven Isles still dream of a time where their people is united under an Elven nation, able to stand against Telengrania and Cilia. A few years ago, the Genasi Elven princess Lily hired a group of privateers to gather the brightest, the toughest, the deadliest allies that the Elven Isles can muster. Welcome to an adventure about the Fire Fleet, the Elven Sea, about dungeons and about dragons, about adventures and the heroes that will form the future of the region. The Elven princess Lily disappeared years ago. The privateers Arnak, Cedric, Jared, and Nessie have traveled to the Cillian capital of Vorigo, where they were invited to a ceremony to celebrate their success in the islands of Ithilden and Sindal, in the name of the General Development Company. Right before the ceremony, the privateers learned that the General Development Company was behind the abduction of the princess and holds her captive within a vault in the king's castle in Vorigo. The privateers have laid out a plan for a jailbreak. And we'll start with Nessie.
Yo.
Nessie, you arrive at this ceremony that you are attending while that you've been invited to kind of make sure that people know that you're there.
Yes.
Can you describe a little how your character looks like, acts, and so on as she arrives outside the ceremony, where there's a kind of security, a few guards checking for weapons and such?
Yes. So Nessie is a beautiful water genasi in her mid-20, and her hair is like floating like soft waterfalls, and she has this big princess-like dress on. But there's something odd about the skirt, like it's moving, but you could just say like maybe it's just the flow of the dress. Something is moving, maybe it's just the flow. But she tries to look like a princess. Like she's carrying herself very proudly with her big princess dress.
Well, Nessie, you arrive all dressed up to this high society banquet, and outside there's security to make sure that anyone inside is safe. And you kind of get in line because there are others who are being checked. And about 2 people in front of you, you notice that whoever tried to make their way in, there's suddenly a loud commotion, and the guards kind of apprehend the person, and the person is ranting on about some religious fanaticism, and it's revealed that with an illusion spell, this cultist was trying to impersonate a nobleman and try to make their way in. But apparently these guards have a means to see through illusions, and they apprehend this cultist who shouts out, "For the eternal flame, you shall all burn in its fires!" And you see some of these guards kind of start pulling the cultist away. As it comes close to you, the cultist kind of gets a little free, kind of grabs onto you like, "You have to save this world! Everything must be bathed in flames, our sins! We cannot endure them!"
Very slowly, while still being grabbed, Nessie pulls her hands together in a circular motion, and then up into her hair, and she just sprays him with water. It's like, flames need to burn out, die. But she says it in a very cute, innocent voice. It's like, I don't care about you, and I don't care about what you're saying. Really immature for her age. But when they're gone, she's stepping out of the line and standing a little bit. This is not fun for her.
No, and the guards do apprehend the cultist again and kind of drag him away.
The thing is, Nessie knows she has to go in here. She has to be a part of the ceremony because she's the captain. And she's getting celebrated amongst others. So she's tried to sneak her way into line, but she will try to charm the guards are not looking too closely at her, even though she's all dressed up and very beautiful.
You roll a deception check then. First roll of the campaign.
Deception.
Ja, folkens, vi er lige startet på en ny kampagne. Så I ved.
Nice.
When it's finally your turn, the guards, you come up and you present yourself, and the guards, they know who you are and greet you. Yes, Captain Nessie, Captain Renesmee, you've been expected. You have come from afar.
Yes,
the king will be delighted for you to arrive.
I know, I'm gonna meet up with some other ones from, the other, so, and you can just call me Nessie's quite all right, she's very girly, very, okay, I'm just gonna sneak in, and then she's gonna wait.
My colleague here is going to have to check you for weapons. You see, the female guard next to him is standing there and little waiting for permission to frisk you.
Oh no. Okay, so she's gonna hold this movement on her dress, and okay, yeah, you can search me, but you will try and move this movement under her skirt, and hope they don't notice it.
But you haven't brought any weapons. You're just in your dress, correct?
Yes, I have actually.
What weapon do they find?
They find my two very short sword, kind of daggers. But they are displayed it's more like an accessory. But it's also something that Renesmee or Nessie is known for. These two beautiful swords that she has been bestowed from an elven princess. So that is something she can not. They cannot be taken from her, but they will not find anything else.
I'm sorry, Captain, but we cannot allow you to enter with those weapons. They don't make a move to take them from you or anything. They're just not allowing you in as long as you have any weapons on you.
But they're harmless, I promise. Well, yeah, they're harmless.
There's unfortunately nothing we can do about it.
But then I have to leave and look at these heels and you cannot ruin. They have to see me. I have to Can I then have a guard next to me to make sure that or can you fetch somebody who can hold them for me and never leave my side because I'm
No
not
weapons
putting.
are allowed in, even by us.
So you have guards in there without weapons?
That is correct.
That seems dangerous.
All the armed guards are outside. But Captain, I can allow you to return to your ship and place your weapons there, and I'll make sure that you get up front in front of the queue when you return.
You promise? You
Of course,
promise?
madam.
Promise? You pinky promise? And she lifts her finger very intensely, pinky promise.
The guy kind of gives her his pinky.
Okay. Then he will hurry back and drop off her weapons. I hate that. But then I have to get through the guards again. Oh no. Oh no.
We'll get back to that. Because someone else who is in line is you, Cedric, right
Yes.
behind Nessie. Maybe you can describe a little bit about Cedric's arrival.
Yeah. Cedric is an adult man with a well-kept hair and a weather-worn look. He's spent most of his days on the sea, and it's very visible on him now. As he arrives, he sees Nessie being approached by guards and searched. So he prepares his weapons so that they can be handed over as well. But he's not going to make an argument in order to keep them.
No, and you're let in. Nessie as well is let in later, but we'll get back to that. And then we have two more characters. But before we describe them, I want to... Thijs, could you describe Jinna for us? I would imagine she's the third one in line.
She's the third one in line. She is a woman, human. She's around 5'3" tall. She has these gold green eyes, blonde long hair in a it's nicely formed. She has this brown jacket on and red sweater, a red vest inside. She looks fair, you would say. She's not the best looking girl, but she's, on the other hand, not unattractive. She has a book in her on her left arm and a feather pen in her right hand. She's
And no weapons, I assume.
No weapons at this point. She has
So
weapons behind.
those three, Nessie, Cedric, and Jinna, arrive at the ceremony at the same time. Jared and Arnak, let's just say they were there earlier, but we'll get back to that. What you see when you enter is a large banquet hall. A large royal hall, with a throne at the end, and every space in here has been set up for a feast with tables and chairs and benches, and there's candles, there's servants, there's music. There are even sculptures on some of the tables. It's warm. It smells really good. There's a really good festive mood. And eventually, Nessie, you return to the line. You get to skip the line up to the guard who checks you again. And then as he checks you, you see that they also do a kind of a magical detection. And at that point, they go like, Captain, this says that you are wearing some kind of illusion.
I know my dress is beautiful. You don't have to say it's an illusion.
Well, we're going to have to dispel it to make sure that you are who you are. We wouldn't want you to be another cultist, the Eternal Flame, like the one earlier.
Before they even get the chance, she removes it herself. And in front of everybody stands this little, what is she, 7, 8 years old? Water genasi in an oversized, and like as it falls down, she has an undershirt on. As it falls down, a flying monkey appears from her chest, which has been the movement from before. And she's mad. Like, this is so typical. Like, why?
Completely, sorry, my lady. I had heard stories, rumors. I didn't know they were true. Of course, you may enter.
Thank you. And she walks in. Like, she's mad now. She's very mad.
But you put back the illusion.
No. Now the cat is out of the bag. Now she doesn't care. She like fixes up and tightens in the princess dress and it's like still chest up and I don't care.
But you do enter the party. Does that put you in a better mood?
Well, if I get to have fun and dance around, and yes, but if anybody looks at her and rolls their eyes, there will be hell to pay.
Nessie, hun er sej. Det er hun altså.
Can you explain a little why is it that you're playing a 7-year-old girl? Little retrospective on her side of what she remembers.
She doesn't remember much. But as the years progress, she gets younger. Something has happened. There has been something has happened that has reversed her aging. So when she first became a captain, even before that, she was 12. And it has something to do with the elven princess that gave her the 2 swords she was not allowed to bring to the party. And that the last 2 years, she has been working with Jared, who hasn't formally been introduced yet, on how to stop her aging backwards.
Yes. If we jump back to Cedric, who was second in line, Cedric, how about you? How do you mingle at this party?
Well, Cedric tries to talk with as many people as possible and generally tries to create a nice atmosphere around him. He's very good with speaking with people and yeah. Who does he meet?
Well, the banquet hall has a number of nobles. There's a lot of the those at court, and then a lot of noblemen from various outer regions, elven, colonies out in the Elven Sea. There's a lot of the powerful people from the kingdom who's attending as well. There's naval officers whom you recognize, and they recognize you, greet you, Marshal. I was not aware that you've reached this type of position. I've heard stories, but I see you've truly made it far.
Well, thank you. Yes, it's certainly has brought me somewhere to go on. And I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the Navy. So,
No, your adventures out into the Elven Sea has been quite the talk.
thank you. I'm glad to hear that.
Ja, folkens, der er lige en del baghistorie lige nu. Det er lige, fordi igen, det er første session, vi spiller.
Let me introduce you to some more people.
Med vores karakter.
Yes, please, please.
You are introduced to others. Other powerful powers here in the Kingdom of Cilia includes people from the General Development Company. Now, the General Development Company is a company of powerful people in the Kingdom of Cilia who have started to invest largely. Well, not started; they've done so for many years, for a long time. But they invest in colonies out in the Elven Sea, and usually these type of enterprises focus on slavery, capturing the indigenous people and bringing them back to Cilia to serve as slaves. But the General Development Company, they invest in the indigenous people's infrastructure, and they've been doing so for a very long time. And somehow it seems to be paying off. They at least they seem to be doing very well and are quite close to the nobility and the government of the Kingdom of Cilia, which is why it's called General Development. They develop the general populace out in the Elven Sea.
Well, I will try to talk with a couple of these people, the ones looking most important, in order to try and get some information, more information about the General Development Company. I've heard about them quite a few times, but I don't know that much about them. So I'd like to try and figure out what they are doing and how they've managed to get this far.
Yeah, and it's also quite interesting because you've encountered the General Development Company on your adventures out in the Elven Sea, and you've been doing some work for them, and they've been investing in some of the projects that you've had out in the Elven Sea. And one of these meetings you've had earlier, the General Development Company asked you to hunt down well, they didn't say directly, but they wanted you to hunt down a lich, which you managed. But they were very vague about it, that you needed to find out what was going on in the nearby city of Makawara, where everybody had disappeared. And that you would meet with an agent, which you also did. And all of that culminated into you finding out that there was a lich who had kidnapped all of the people from this village who had disappeared. And you kind of get into that because you do meet someone from the General Development Company who alludes to this mission, this investigation you were sent on, and who also alludes to already knowing that it was a lich who was behind it, even before you even mentioned it. But What is it you do tell him? What is the tale you tell him?
I tell him that we found this lich and that we met a Durgar in amongst the centaurs, who was an emissary of the syndicate. Sent there to try and help the centaurs in regards to this.
Yes, I'm actually working for the General Development Company.
Yeah. But then I only tell him the broad lines of how we found the lich and it was Cyclops and so on.
What do you tell him about what happened to the Durgar?
I tell him that unfortunately he didn't make it back.
Oh, that's a shame. But as far as I know, you never told anyone about this mission of yours.
No, I was told not to.
Well, that's a good thing, because that's a bit of a test, really. To see if new agents would be loyal enough. And now that you've completed your assignment, he doesn't see any issues with you telling others about this assignment.
Cedric is
happy
happy that he sees it like that. A little disappointed maybe in him not trusting in Cedric from the beginning, but understanding the necessity.
Well, it's a skill that we kind of require from our agents. So if you are interested, in real work and not just a test, then maybe he could put in a good word for you.
Cedric is interested in hearing more.
You've actually not been invited here to this very nice banquet feast just because you claim to be rulers of a slave isle. No, you're actually here at our behest. And the next task has already been set in motion.
And what may that be?
There are others higher up in rank that know more. I am not privy to all knowledge.
Maybe we could meet them.
Perhaps, if it is their plan to do so. But let us continue without all this talk of business.
Yes,
come.
Yes, let us. Let's enjoy the banquet.
Yes, you continue to mingle and enjoy. Like I said earlier, the other two characters are, let's say, already present. And I think we'll start with Jared. Can you describe a little bit about how Jared mingles here at the party?
Yes, Jared is this quite well-dressed male human. He is not mingling, actually. He is walking behind his captain, Nessie, 7 years old girl. He is walking behind her, quite close, from time to time, whispering in her ear. But other than that, he doesn't mingle. He share away from eye contact. He's having a book on his left arm and a feather in the right, and it looks like he's noting a lot of stuff in his book, or at least pretending, depending what you see. But yeah, it's a little awkward. So yeah, keeping to his captain and being behind her at all time, letting her have doing the words. Yeah, that's probably how he behaves.
There's a couple of young women sitting nearby who look at Jared, kind of giggle, whispering, and one of them kind of gets up and approaches Jared, kind of trying to draw his gaze and his attention.
He doesn't see it. He doesn't even recognize it. It's just another one in the crowd, male or female. Doesn't notice it.
The woman sits back down, clearly infuriated that she couldn't draw his attention. And the other woman gives it a try instead.
Same result. It's worth noting he's not the most charming man.
How about Arnak? You with us?
Yep.
Krella?
Sorry, I'm here. Well, yeah. Arnak, he's a dwarf. Yeah. What can I tell about Arnak? He works at a brewer's guild. He likes crafting wine and beer. He's not a beautiful dwarf, and he doesn't like. One second. 2 sekunder for, så jeg lige ved at tage fat i den her. He's a wizard, so he has a spell book, but he also prefers to use a battle axe, which he can't have with him today. So he only brought his book, he's hoping to show off some of his skills with brewing. To the nobles here at the party.
Well, Arnak isn't the owner of the party, is he?
No, his father is also here. His father is a blacksmith who lives in this town. He's what?
Kan jeg ikke høre dig?
Sorry. His father is also at the party. His father is a blacksmith that lives and works here in the town. He's quite good. He's a good crafter and highly renowned. And the plan for his father was that Arnak would have to take over the blacksmith, but Arnak refused and he ran away.
What is his father doing? Can you describe a little bit about that?
Well, he's actually searching for Arnak because he wants to talk with him. When Arnak came to town, his father told him that he should come home and get back in the and do crafting for him. and Arnak said he had to think about it, and now, his father wants an answer now.
Apparently, his father has some powerful connections since he's attending the banquet.
He has. He's very renowned for making good armor and weapons. So if the nobles need anything, armor or weapons, they usually come to him.
What is Arnak doing when his father finds him?
Trying to avoid him as best as he can. He doesn't know what to say. But
I would
also,
imagine he's probably sitting with some ale.
Yeah,
Maybe
he's trying not to make eye contact with his father, but since he is a brewer, there are other Brewers Guild people who wants to let him taste the wine and beer and see what he thinks.
I would imagine some of them also try to show off their collection. Some noblemen would probably sit close to Arnak and go like, "Hey, you're that brewer from Thilden. I have this ale from that comes all the way from the Telangranian Empire. You know, the land far to the west across the sea. They say this is what Imperials drink. What do you think of it?
Well, Arnak
Is it worth
just
investing in?
What? Sorry. What did you say?
Is it worth investing in?
Well, Arnak he takes a sip at it, and he's just he doesn't know what to say. He's lost for words. He don't know what to say about this beer. It's
Is it a happy face or is it a kind of a frowny face? Because
it's a frowny face. It's not the typical beer that Arnak is used to.
Well, before the nobleman can react, Arnak's father finds him.
Yeah, he wants to talk with Arnak, and so he wants to go somewhere private and have a talk with Arnak. So he goes over and grabs him and starts to pull away with him.
As Arnak's father kind of pulls Arnak to his feet, he discovers that Arnak is not as short as he should be. He's not dwarf size. He's actually the same size as Jinna. The same actually goes for Jared. Jared's actually not standing behind Nessie. He's gone. And funnily enough, when you think about it, he was also the same height as Jinna. Jinna, who had made her way into the party without using illusion, but at this point was using illusion to take on the guise of Jared and Arnak, who are somewhere else.
Ja, vi er ikke til festen, vi er blevet opdaget. Fuck, løb!
Interesting.
Fuck. Arnak and Jared.
Yes.
You, your whole party has set up quite a jailbreak, and while some of your people are at the ceremony, keeping everyone distracted and clueless, you make your way through the castle. And eventually, or maybe you want to describe how you eventually find and enter the vault where the princess is being held?
Yes. We were after a little issue with some guards. We managed to suggest another way of them doing their job. We searched forward and found this black magical humiliating door. The two wizards, with the help of Helga and I forgot the last one's name. Liner.
Norm.
Norm.
So with a Goliath and a what's he called? Furbolg.
Two very big ones.
Goliath and
Dwarf and a
Furbolg.
human. And we found this really magical door, and it was locked, and we managed actually to pick the lock. Not having any skills in lock picking, still being able to pick the lock, but still not opening. Because of magical lock as well. Not having the correct spell prepared for today, because in the beginning of the day, the jailbreak was not on paper. Jared took forward a scroll that he had scribed several years before, a dimension door. And probably the weird magic around the door made, instead of only being able to take one person with him, being able to take the entire person with him with this scroll cast, this dimension door inside the room, getting ready for the jailbreak. Jared at this time looking like a guard, kind of like a corporal of the guards. Norm being a little spider on Arnak's shoulder.
Because he's a druid.
Yes, and Arnak has cast a scroll of the sky self as well to be another guard. And far as I remember, we cast a spell on invincibility on
the Goliath.
On the Goliath. So entering, people would see two guards entering by magical means.
And inside
thinking
the
this
vault,
is a normal prison.
Well, you knew from the beginning it wasn't. It's it's a prison built into a vault in the castle in the capital of the kingdom. And inside this vault is an endless black space. There's no visible ceiling. There's no floor. There's no walls. You've even tried to throw some items, and it does land, but it doesn't. There's nothing. Even when you light up the items with magic, the light doesn't show a floor. It just shows darkness. There are, however, objects that can be dimly perceived in the distance, cloaked by some sort of illusory mist. Are they objects? Maybe treasures? It's hard to tell. Anyway, when you enter, a lit-up illusion appears. It's an old man, well-dressed, with a thin, devilish beard. And he says, "I am Sage Jaskal. I don't know who you are, but I have foreseen your arrival. I have foreseen that you work for a resurgent power within the Elven Isles. You have used piracy and economic pressure to garner influence over neighboring islands, with the eventual goal of forcing concessions from the major powers. I commend you on your efforts thus far. How do I know this, you might ask? Well, I don't know if you're asking. My predictions apply to larger events, not to individuals. I do not know anything about you. I can only know the shape of history. But some time ago, a consortium of concerned Cillian citizens hired me to apply my abilities to the future of the Kingdom of Cilia. In brief, my conclusion is that without active intervention, the cult of the Eternal Flame will inevitably expand to conquer the entire Elven Sea. Countless will die." As he speaks, you see more illusions that appear in the darkness. You see like kind of a map of the Elven Isles. You see all of the neutral islands that call it green. The Talangrania is colored purple, Cilia is colored yellow, and then you can see this red that kind of expands and envelops, swallowing like island after island until it crashes into Cilia. Your intervention may prevent the spread of the cult of the Eternal Flame, but another threat will devour the vacuum the cult will leave behind once defeated. The illusion shows the deep purple from Talangrania kind of spread out and engulf the red. Now, this disaster can be prevented. The General Development Company's secret purpose is to prepare the Elven Isles. By uplifting and fortifying key civilizations, we turn them into caltrops, into tiger traps that will disrupt and slow both the Eternal Flame and Talangrania's advance. By laboring in secret over generations, the company can alter the otherwise inevitable future. You can see the illusion kind of rolls back and displays another potential future where the Eternal Flame's advance is slowed greatly, goes much, much slower. It doesn't even crash into Cilia, it kind of stops. And Talangrania kind of moves out to envelop the red, but is eventually pushed back by the yellow of the Kingdom of Cilia. My predictions show an upcoming intersection between your efforts and ours. As conflicts grow, the pressure manifests as incursions. You may have already experienced such attacks. They are but a small taste of the conflict to come. I have a proposition for you. Let us make your nation our lightning rod. We will fortify you, lend you our aid, and this will draw the Eternal Flame and Talangrania onto you. You will endure, you will fight bravely, but in the end, you must lose. Your destruction will have consequences that ripple out across the Elven Sea, inspiring other islands to fight back. The General Development Company will protect you, or a small few individuals of your choice. But the destruction must be otherwise absolute and memorable. Refuse this proposition, and events will transpire as I have dictated. If you defeat the Eternal Flame, the Empire of Talangrania will strike at you, even without the General Development Company's assistance.
For helvede. Så det vi har muligheder for, det er, at hvis vi gør noget, så går det galt. Og hvis vi gør noget, så er der mange, der vil dø, som vi kender. Så det er en pest eller kolera.
Can Krella or the Hunted, can one of you describe what happens between after this proposition and until you leave the vault?
A short recap. Jared does not agree on the order of the day. He does not agree on the foresight that has been foretold. He does not agree on that is the only possible outcome, and certainly does not agree of being held for decoy. He is at this stage quite angry at them for making this trap, and also for capturing the princess that he does find in the dark at some stage under this interrogation, or what we should call it, proposition. Jared is trying to get, his main goal have been trying to get people to work together as the elf and the humans and all the civilization against the Eternal Flame, not making plans of each other's destruction after the Eternal Flame. He's seeing as the most important thing is to work together against the Eternal Flame, and then after that build up something diplomacy together by the bonds that could have been made in this time of the eternal flame. So a great evil can make people unite, so to say. So he's quite furious and declined the offer. And Arnak...
Now, it is only an illusion you're speaking
It's
with.
still
it
only an
require
illusion.
an answer.
Yeah. And
But your magic affinity, you do discover that though this is an illusion, it seems sentient.
Yeah.
Do manage to ask it questions and can answer back, but it is also very monotone.
Jared found out that he can take the princess and leave, and he intends to do so. And Arnak is able to talk Jared down from burning stuff.
Don't burn
at this stage.
Don't burn the whole city down, please.
We need to get the fuck out of here. And he he grabs the princess and not that he's really able to carry her, but there is a hidden Goliath behind, so that takes up the princess, and they exit. At this stage, Jared casts a sending spell to Gina, saying, "All gone to hell here. Need to go to the boat now. Please hurry, get everyone."
And what does Gina reply with?
Everything gone shit here as well. We're on the run as well. We're at the boat.
And Nessie, what does Nessie do when Gina is discovered having been in the illusory guise of Arnak and Jared?
Well, she does what she knows best. She draws attention to herself. So she shifts into a giant constrictor snake. And it looks wet, like snakes normally look wet, but this one looks like it just took a shower. And it just wraps up Gina, and it's like, I'm gonna protect you. It's like, nobody's gonna hurt my friend just because she's not who she just says she is. Like, Nessie knows all about outer appearance is not the inner personality. So.
I would imagine Gina kind of explains that we need to go. We need to get to the ship. We're going to Plan B. Let's get out of here.
Yeah, but she's still like wrapped softly around Gina, and then moves her onto her back, and then she snakes her way out and down to the harbor. Like, nobody can stop us. I'm a freaking snake.
So I would imagine some of these unarmed guards may advance on Nessie in snake form. You kind of whack them away with your tail.
Yeah. I also think like that's why Nessie is like, I don't care because you're not armed. So just desk, nobody can touch me.
And of course outside there are armed guards. But as you make your way out of the banquet hall, Arnak and Jared, you kind of get close to the area, and you notice there's a lot of guards kind of blocking off the banquet hall, and you've heard from Gina that her cover's blown.
Is there another way out for Cedric?
I don't know. Is there?
I don't know. What options are there? Windows, other doors, stuff like that. Otherwise, Cedric is actually not. He's pretty calm. He's not trying to run out. He's just trying to, blend in and slip out the back door, basically.
How about Arnak? We haven't heard from Arnak in a while.
Yeah, but Anak he's trying to he hates running. But he tries as best as he can to keep up, and also trying to think of anything he could do.
Does Jared have a plan?
Yes.
Or does Arnak have something?
Well, Anak's plan is to get Helga. I think to get Helga to take the princess, and then cast the fly on Helga. I don't know.
But how about with you guys and with Jenna and Nessie and Cedric and so on? You know, you like I described, you're coming through the castle, making your way out, away from the vault, and you run past an area where you can see that the guards are blocking off the banquet hall, where you know that Jenna's cover's been blown, and you know Nessie and Cedric are also in there. Does Arnak just keep on running, just making an escape for himself, or does he have anything else he wants to do?
You were the difficult. He can come. Yeah, he has no idea right now.
Right.
Jeg kan ikke lige komme på noget. Undskyld,
Does Jared have anything as he passes the hall?
Jared needs to make sure that all the guards are not after them or Gina or Nessie, but after something else.
Ja, men det kunne godt gøre det. Det kunne være udmærket.
So he does several things. As a bonus action, he cast Manifest Mind. That's a long one. It's
det er en lang spillet der.
It's actually just a tiny spectral object of his spell book, but it comes out this time as
maybe just describe it. You don't need to explain all the rules of
okay. But at some distance from them, this eternal flame follower priest.
The one from earlier.
Someone similar, yes. Appears and without making any sounds, it starts firing off 4 fireballs, one each round in different direction, preferably hitting stuff not where people are, but things that can burn, and especially things that is belonging to the general development country. That will be first pickings of the fireballs that can burn from them. And then Jared will proceed getting close to a quite big mass of the guards and going for where there are more officers or sergeants or corporals of the guard.
Maybe that's better for a little later.
Okay.
Brænder det hele
because
det er godt.
As soon as this illusion of a cultist, but it's still others don't necessarily know it, but this cultist arrives and he returns from earlier and starts throwing balls of explosive fire within the castle. How he got this close to the banquet is a mystery. And these large explosions, Cedric and Nessie, kind of give you an opening, since it draws the attention of the guards, who were at first a little upheavaled by the fact that there's a giant snake attacking the guests, but now there's a cultist throwing fireballs outside, which kind of takes precedence. Gives you an opening. You want to describe how you all leave the castle?
Yeah, I'd love to. Cedric tries to look like an onlooker who doesn't know what's going on. He hasn't. I don't think he's seen Nessie turn into a giant snake either before. So he's sort of like trying to be a little baffled, but then again being calm, trying to get out and get out of the way of the guards, not trying to draw attention, and get towards the docks as quickly as possible without seeming suspicious.
Can you do a stealth check?
I can.
Stealth. Vi sniger os. Virker altid. Jared er ret god til at snige, eller Cedric er god til at snige sig, så vi håber, det lykkes. Jeg håber, du synes om det, Mio.
Fumble.
I actually have advantage.
Aren't you just
Mio,
lucky?
planen er, at der kommer kort hertil, men vi skal lige til at fungere det her drille lidt
lucky.
i dag. Men planen er faktisk, at vi laver nogle kort hertil, så I har indflydelse på spillet. Det håber jeg bliver godt.
23. All right. So Cedric takes advantage of the chaos and kind of sneaks out and sneaks away. How about Nessie and Jenna?
Well, if we can locate Jared and Arnek, that would, I think, be Nessie's first priority.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna look for them first, and I'm gonna try and indicate to Jenna to do the same.
Well, you know, in the chaos, people starting to storm out. I don't know if you revert back to your normal form or stay in your snake form.
That depends if I can find Jared and Arnek.
Well, not inside the party. Not inside the ceremony. Not inside
det tror jeg ikke, hun har. Jeg tror ikke, hun har poison, fordi hun er en kvælerslange.
I'm still a giant snake. I'm still gonna try and bust out because that's what
Jenna told me to do.
It's true. You're kind of holding Jenna as you crash through the crowd of people, of frightened people who are terrified of you and terrified of the explosions going on. And you kind of make your way out of the banquet hall with guards not knowing whether they need to face you or hunt down the cultists who's throwing fireballs. And at that point, you do notice Arnek and Jared, they're kind of running down the hall somewhere else with a Goliath and a Furbolg and the princess in hand. Apparently, your jailbreak is going almost according to plan.
Vi er næsten ude nu.
So I'm gonna make Gina throw her off in their direction. And I'm gonna move towards the cultists, but on the way in all the commotion, I'm gonna turn into myself and try and sneak away. I'm not gonna go the same way as Jared and them, because then we're gonna get caught. So, okay, they're good. Shit, I'm still a giant snake. What do I do? Okay. There's commotion over there. I'm gonna go over there, and then they will lose the snake. Woo!
Stealth check as well.
Uh-oh. I'm not that good.
14.
Ja.
Mio, du skal huske, hun kan ikke altid høre, hvad jeg siger, så det er mere, bare lige så du ved det. Fordi jeg har slået push to talk til, så hun kan ikke høre, hvad jeg siger, fortæller noget.
You kind of feign your escape, and on your way out, unfortunately, you're kind of discovered. But you rejoin Arnak and Jared and Norm and Helga and Jenna and everybody except Cedric. Nobody's seen Cedric since the party.
Nessie's gonna start to panic. She feels like a bad captain. No, he was just here. He was just in there. Oh no. Where is he?
The guards have kind of discovered the illusion. bells are starting to ring, and you don't really have time to go back to get Cedric. So you run through the city down towards the harbor, towards Gloria, in the hopes that you can get away before they can take you down with guards. But unfortunately, the loud bells ringing, the alarm kind of puts everything on lockdown. And as you arrive close to your ship down by the harbor, you see an assortment of guards kind of arrive. Jared?
Vagter.
Jared goes in front of our group and goes up to
Den har vi slås mod Mio. Det var sidste kampagne.
What are you doing? The cold and eternal flame is burning down the city and you're standing here. I suggest you all go up and get help and hunt down the eternal flame. Cast mass suggestions on 12 of them. Definitely on their leader and downwards.
So the guards who are locking down the harbor, when you arrive, you start to shout out orders. Usually Jared's not the one doing the talking, but he is when he casts mass suggestion.
Yeah.
And
actually, it's a world first mass suggestion from Jared. Just saying, it's the first time he attempts it.
Well, it's
of your choice.
great success. These guards have no idea why the bells are ringing. And they go like, oh, yeah, we did hear, sir, that there were explosions up at the castle. Did you see where they were? And Jared kind of leads them away, allowing all of you, including Cedric, to board your ship without any interference.
Vi slap væk fra dem.
Nice.
Nu er vi på et skib. Arnak,
Well, guys, let's get out of the city.
Cedric.
Cedric sort of comes out of somewhere. I don't know if you
Where are
realized
you?
he was there.
Where?
I was
You
here.
were in there, and now you're here, and Nessie completely ignored everybody, and then she just starts barking orders like a captain. Like
Hun er en vandgenasi.
she might be 7-8 years old, but
så
she
hun
knows what she's doing.
Ja, hun lever i vand.
Like, we are setting sail now. Cedric is here, everybody's here. Go.
Yeah, and like even like as Nessie is shouting out the orders, Cedric is already halfway doing the things she wants him to, because he just knows what's next to be done here.
So you hurry over to your ship.
Så
Your ship is an elven ship.
et fedt
It's
skib.
a beautiful,
Det er et rigtig fedt skib, det der.
sleek, advanced, yet small and nimble elven ship called Gloria.
Gloria.
Loading.
Okay, vi er ved at skifte scene, så kan I se vores skib. Det ser fedt ud. Bare vent.
Something's happening. It's a fully rigged elven ship with 3 masts and fore and aft rigging. The ship has a ballista and a small kind of catapult, a mangonel. The hull itself is bare wood with the name Gloria written on the side in Elvish. It is streamlined, has a high flat keel, also that she can sail both out at sea but also in shallow waters. The sails are strong, small but strong and well designed to really catch the wind. Her rudders give her a lot of maneuverability, and her hull is overall advanced with elven materials and magics, also to give it greater resilience. But it is old. Time has worn away at the ship. It wasn't always called Gloria. And but it's still a very nice ship. And when you reach it, you see there's only one crewman on deck, and that's Hafna. Hafna is scrubbing the deck as you come over, and Nessie starts barking out orders. As you bark out orders, Nessie, I'm just gonna move you over onto the ship. The rest of the crew comes out from the lower deck. There's Millie and Neri and Vetha and Sorrel. There's Samuel and Robert, who are the only two male members. Then there's also Tristiana and Daciana, Goody, and Wanda. And they get on board as you bark out orders. And all of you, including Cedric, starts working the rigging, starts loosening the mooring lines, and start pushing away from the harbor. I don't know, how about Arnak? What's Arnak doing?
Arnak, he is he hates ships, but he's standing guard, so to say. He's looking out if the guards are coming back or anything. He doesn't know much about ships.
Your tokens are at the bottom.
Yeah.
You can move them up to any location on the ship.
They hold.
I almost forgot. With you is actually another noblewoman, an elven noblewoman, who is your contact. That's Lady Heliphine. She's the one who told you about Princess Lily's location, and she's been your contact here. And of course, she's making the escape with you because she will definitely not be welcome. Maybe even be taken as a slave if she remains. And I've allowed Jared and Nessie to move around their followers.
Vi har nogen, der kan finde ud af at sejle, så har vi Arnak, som ikke kan lide at sejle. Han hader det. Det er det værste, han ved.
How about Jared? How's Jared doing?
Jared is definitely up behind Nessie, up on the quarterdeck, looking in over shore, seeing how it goes there, if he needs to react on anything. He's normally the ship's navigator, which is not really necessary at this point. We're just trying to get the hill out. So he kind of like oversees is everything is okay on shore as well. At the same time, he will scout their harbor if there are any vessels from the company laying there idle.
Cedric, can you do an I don't know what you're best at, athletics or acrobatics?
Acrobatics.
Can you please do an acrobatics? And Arnak and Jared, can the two of you do perception checks?
Yep.
And Nessie, can you do a water vehicle check with intelligence?
Perception. 20, sådan, mand. Jeg er så god til at rulle etter normalt, men den her... godt, det der, mand. Det kan vi lide.
So, Cedric, no. 30 on acrobatics. Cedric, you are probably the most skilled naval officer here. Apart maybe from some of the other officers. But at the rigging part and sailing the ship, this is where you truly shine. Arnak and Jared, you keep watch as you depart from the harbor.
Jeg mangler min kat lige nu.
And Nessie's barking out orders. 18 and 20 on perception checks. It doesn't seem that the guards are pursuing. They seem to have fallen completely for your diversions. And you have a free way to go and sail out. Even with many visitors here for the great ceremony. A 12 on water vehicle. You're taking it slow. Gloria is an old ship, and it can be very, very fast. and very sharp and maneuvering, which also means you need to handle her delicately when you're in narrow spaces like the port here in Borrego.
Så.
So it takes you a little while to sail out, but eventually you sail away from the capital and downriver. And a few marks later, the sun has set and it's become night, and you're drifting. You've picked up speed now that there's more space, and you're drifting down the river. But there's a few days out to sea from here. But you're safe now, for now at least. And I would also say that you have completed the main quest to rescue the princess.
Kan vi se den her. Jeg ved ikke, om I kan læse det, folkens, men der står, vi er klar. Vi har Lady Halfin, har vi reddet.
Exactly how I planned.
Vi vil blive Patreon.
Good plan.
Det vil sige, hun vil støtte os nu. Så det er
Very,
godt. Vi får
very
en, der vil
good
støtte os.
jailbreak plan. Yeah. So, does anybody want to do anything while you travel downriver?
Can we take a short break? Or should I just go?
We can take our 10 minutes break now. Then you can also think a little bit about what your characters are going to be doing for the next few days.
Arnak ved godt, hvad han gør som det første, men det
See you in 10
fortæller senere.
Yes, 10.
Så. Nå, vi har lige, der er 10 minutters pause, for vi er tilbage i 27, så vi ses lige om lidt. Så folkens, der er stadigvæk lige lidt tid, inden de skal tilbage, men jeg håber, I synes om det i hvert fald. Og det var bare, ja. Jeg ved godt, det er lidt mærkeligt, jeg måske streamer noget helt andet, end det jeg plejer, men det er bare...
Det skal også lige være lidt dyne til Christian.
Hvad siger du, bror? Og det er 2 sekunder. Altså, jeg har ikke lyst til at få copyright, fordi det er noget, som lyder som Aladdins, hvilket det ikke var. 20 minutter, som drummer til... Så mine... Jo, jeg skal lige... Jeg beklager. Den er jeg lidt i tvivl om, hvordan jeg skal tolke den. Beklager, Miver. Så... Ej, mit engelsk er så rusten, kan jeg godt mærke. Men jeg har også lidt... Hvis de andre snakker engelsk i den... Normalt så er det sådan, at jeg snakker dansk, og så snakker de bare engelsk. Fordi de er også danskere, og det er ikke noget problem. Jeg drikker ikke øl. Så det... Så... Men ja... Forhandlinger. Okay, det er bare lige... det er fordi, de snakker om noget nu. Og min karakter drikker ikke øl så meget. Det der er problem for ham lige nu, det er, at han ikke kan lide vand. Og det vil sige, at han har nogle ting, han skal gøre. Der er en ting, han altid gør, når de er ude at sejle. Og det har han altid gjort. Det er, at han kaster waterproof, så han kan trække vejret under vandet, hvis det skulle gå galt. Fordi det er en ting, han ikke bryder sig om. Det er, at han lige pludselig drukner. Det er han faktisk bange for. Og det er sådan en, der, når jeg kaster, så virker den 24 timer. Så. Jeg tror, vi snart er tilbage. Der kommer til at være nogle commands menu, sådan at jeg troede, jeg satte det op, det fik jeg ikke gjort ordentligt. Men der kommer nogle commands i forhold til andre prøver at få folk til at drikke øl. Men der kommer nogle commands, sådan at man kan se, hvem der er i gruppen, og hvad der skete sidst. Og så er planen også, at vi skal have sat nogle Dixburg-kort op. Det glæder mig til, hvis vi får det til at virke. Så I har indflydelse på spillet. Og der er vores DM, han er rigtig god til sådan noget, så han vil prøve at lave sådan nogle kort til os, som vi kan bruge under spillet. Så det håber jeg virker. Håber det bliver godt. Så. Nå, 2 sekunder. Sådan, så er vi klar igen. Sådan.
Jeg har webcam åbent 2 sekunder.
Ish.
Jamen, scenen er jeres. Spillet er jeres. Introen, den er sådan set færdig. Og nu så er der ud til jeres store, åben sandbox-eventyr.
Well, I know what Nessie is doing, like, except from barking orders every now and then. She is definitely trying to bond up as much as possible with the new crew members, who is Cedric and Arnek. Like, she has been sailing around with Jared and everybody else for some time. But Cedric and Arnek, she's only met like once before 2 years ago. Very briefly. And it would look something like she will turn herself into a water creature or like a sea creature of some kind, and waddle up to them, and then puff, puff, like, look at me, I'm cute.
Cedric is sort of weirded a bit out by it. He's not sure how to react. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Cedric is quite sure that it's Nessie, and he's not sure why she's doing that.
Nessie er en 7-årig pige, fordi hun har en forbandelsesposition, hun bliver yngre og yngre. Det er Nessies udfordring.
She just keeps like puffing, like maybe to your hand, like, scratch me behind the ears I don't have, I'm a seal. Like,
Cedric reluctantly pats her on the head.
She comes with a very weird sound, like it doesn't sound like an animal, but it's like she approves, and then she just, if you have a bag or if you have a lot of pockets, she will try to get into that. Because she has this belief that your possession tells more about you than what you say with your words.
Yeah,
it's like if you have a pocket watch or something, she's like, ooh.
Det var sjovt det her.
He has a bag. But I'm not sure he's carrying that around all around the ship. All the time.
If she knows you have a bag and you don't have it on you, she will go to your quarters and find it. Like, she doesn't care. I will know everything about you.
Well, Cedric is not particularly protective about his bag, so it's not like it's impossible to get to look in it. What you will find is an assortment of practical items and a bit of booze.
Okay, she's not in for the booze, but once her wild shape wears off, she will come up to you with your tools and be like, ooh, what is this? Ooh, what does this one do? Ooh, can I keep this? What is this? Can I throw it?
Cedric will politely say that he'd prefer that she doesn't pick up his items from his bag without asking first.
He will hand everything to you and then ask, can I borrow that one? What does that one do? Like, he respects you.
He will politely say, sure, you can borrow it, and this lamp, it lights up.
Mekanikeren, hej, velkommen til.
He's mesmerized.
Hello, mekanikeren.
Actually, it's always lighting because it has a continual flame on it.
Are you afraid of the dark? Is that why you have it? Is this like your night lamp?
Oh no. I just don't see
Velkommen til
that well in
mekanikeren.
dark.
Håber du har det godt.
Ooh. You just have to close your eyes and imagine like the sounds, like your ears, like it's your eyes, and like she has no idea what she talks about. And at some point, if you get annoyed, Norm, this big fur bulk, will come and like pet her on the head and drag her back. Like, he just nods and you're like, I know she's a little too much, and then takes her away.
Cedric is like, yeah, that's a weird one.
At some point, Jared will come down.
Det viser sig om chatten, men jeg er lige pludselig
white owl
det kan ikke køre mig lige.
On his shoulder. I think we all need to have a talk of where we should go from here. And
de springer mig over.
Maybe gather the officers at the
yeah,
what's it called? The meeting room.
in the meeting room.
So the four of you and anyone else?
I think we will start just the four of us, actually.
Yeah.
Vi er fire, ja. Jeg skulle lige huske, hvor mange vi er.
Jared will begin the meeting saying...
det er ikke så højt i den her tjer.
First off,
Så du kan ikke høre mig
Anik
ordentligt,
and
eller hvad
Cedric
siger du? Er min lyd ikke
to
over?
the ship.
Can I describe it?
Describe what? Sorry.
Well, the ship inside is a baroque beauty. All of her original fittings are still intact. And the elves, they delight in the luxury and the opulence of this ship. Every surface here is gilded or engraved. And the cabin here, the meeting room here, has these red velvet cushions on the chairs, and everything's like covered in dark oak with brass and crystal. Yeah.
Nu fandt du ud af, hvem det var? Nej.
You can take it from there.
Yeah, I think
Nå, vi skal lige finde ud
I
af,
think
hvad
we
vi
need
gør.
to discuss
Vi kan
our
det onde,
options going forward. Our time in the regrow didn't go quite as planned, and we are kind of like cast out to this adventure now, or what we should call it. I'm not sure what we should do, how we should do it. I definitely think we at some point should talk to the princess, because we need to get something going here. We need the eternal flame is getting too strong, and if it's nothing is going to happen, then it's going to be all powerful. But at the same time, we cannot just let everything else go into turmoil. We need to do stuff. I don't know. Ever since that
Jester, det er
illusion
i spillet.
I'm in doubt. I don't know. I don't know. And he looks down, and the cat, the owl on his shoulder, jumps down onto the table, and becomes his spell book once again. And he takes his feather, and he's takes a few pages, and he starts writing in the book.
Nessie crawls up onto the table. She now has a very colorful parrot on her shoulder called Molly.
There was two things Molly could say.
Yeah. Molly wants crackers or something.
Molly wants crackers and chop off the head.
Yeah.
See if I can find it. Yeah, go on.
It was for Helga.
And she starts playing with her two swords that, like, one of them is completely developed in flames, but she doesn't burn. And the other one, sorry, I have to find it, is developed in, was it air?
Nice. Fire, nice.
Yes.
Fire, nice sword.
And she looks at Jared, and like Jared is not a big speaker, but he's very wise, and she feels very down that he doesn't have a solution. But she agrees, like, we should, like, the princess has helped us before. And she looks around in the meeting room, like, we got Gloria because of her. She can definitely help us, especially now that we saved her. I think. Maybe.
I think so, but the vision that man had didn't mention anything about any outcome of how the Elven would come out on top. Maybe my first thought was he was back holding that information. Maybe he's not really seeing the truth or just speaking out what he thinks. I've never met anything like it, and I don't know what it was, and I don't know if he was telling me the truth.
I spoke with a man from the general development company at the banquet, and if you didn't know already, which you probably didn't, I was working a small mission for them earlier. When we were looking for the lich previously, some time ago, and it seems they are interested in keeping working with me, and maybe I should do that. It seems like they have a split intentions with us. I'm not entirely sure what they want with us right now, but maybe I should keep working for them in order to sort of get information from them.
To be honest, I think that
Det er godt. Jared kan ikke lide development
opportunity
company.
has burned away.
Are you sure about that?
I burned it down pretty good.
You did. But their trust is in me, and not in
But
you.
you fled with us.
I don't think they know where I am right now. But I will likely hear from them if anything. And
Really?
I just want to sort of bring this up before they contact me, if they contact me.
I think we should. I think we should be very careful. We declined their offer. We are probably not in good standing. They not knowing exactly who we were, they know about us in a general sense. But right after everything went to turmoil, I tried to make it look like the eternal flame was attacking and burning down, and we set sail and got the way hell out. With the princess, we took a political prisoner that they had probably for years, and they gave us a chance to rescue her. I sincerely doubt that way is open at this time. They might contact you. Yes.
I'll take my chances with them if necessary. I don't mind it being dangerous. The thing is, from what I hear, they didn't give us an offer. They gave us a prediction of what's going to happen. Two options, two possible ways things could go. Not really an offer for us, because as I hear it, they don't really win anything on either situation or gain less from either situation.
Oh, that's not as I see it. If we accepted their offer, they would have set in motion their way of getting the whole of the entire Elven Island.
Yeah, but that was the result, no matter which option.
No, there
chosen.
was results that everything was burned down with the Eternal Flame. There was the result that the Tangranian will be the one controlling the Elven
Wasn't
islands.
that only two prophecies or two results in
No.
the
He
described by
started
them?
by saying if nothing else was done, the Eternal Flame will grow and burn.
Yeah, if nothing else was done, but
And
if something was done,
And then, if that was managed, then Talgrania will come in its wake and take the Elven Island.
Hmm.
Or maybe they could take the Elven Island in a fight with Talgrania with a lot of dead. But if they could support us in Sindal, in Helgas, bringing them up to high strength, then that will be the lightning rods or caltrops or what they call it for the Internal Flame and Tangania, where they will come in with all their force that will destroy the two things that we have built up over the last years completely.
yeah,
But then,
I heard that.
But then the rest of the islands will then fight up, and in the end, they could come in and take it all. That is what they wanted, and that was what we declined them. We declined handing them over the entire Elven Island. That is what they want.
Okay.
Det er politisk
So
eller
no,
hvad? Det er
we
ikke noget
did
for Arne.
decline their offer.
Det jeg synes, der
What
er
they
fedest
could,
lige nu. Og lige
what
nu,
they
der vil
see as sparing a lot of innocence,
han vil
which is
gerne
actually
redde
just a lot of
Helgas.
innocence killed.
Men
But
igen,
I-
der er
I-
så der er endnu flere, der vil dø. Det er sådan lidt
Ja.
sådan en dum situation, vi står i lige nu.
That's fair enough.
Bare
See
rejse
it
væk
that
alle
way.
sammen. Det er det, vi gør. Vi rejser alle sammen væk.
I'm a little confused about the conclusions.
That is how I understood it. Maybe Arnek had another.
No matter what, I don't have any reason not to. If they contact me, I think I will go on with them. I just want to let you guys know. I'll be careful. And
If you do any dealings with them, I need you to tell us everything about it.
I hope you trust
we-
me in serving our general purpose.
We are on a small ship, or big ship, but we are on the same ship, and we are in a neck of problems going forward. We need to trust each other and tell each other what is happening.
Absolutely, but
If you
when
are talking about having deals with what I see as our enemy right now,
yeah,
we
I
need
just
to
think
know.
we're seeing different things right now.
So you're not seeing that the general development company wants to get rid of all the hard work that you have been setting up.
I see that in parts. I see someone who is clearly trying to do something behind our backs, and I don't see friends there. But I see someone whom I want to know more about. I want to know what they're doing and why they're doing it. And not the least to be able to actually possibly prepare ourselves towards them if they're going to make any attacks or trying to.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
I get both of you guys' points. I think it's if, and it's a big if, because we don't know what happened after we sold off. But if they contact Cedric, and depending on what they're telling Cedric, we could take it from there as a group decision. But I agree with Cedric that maybe it's a good idea to have a foot on the inside. And if Cedric can be that, which he has apparently already been, then we should exploit that. Because we rescued we rescued a princess, okay? And she's beautiful. And I love her. But if they start going after us and Cedric has a foot on the inside, then we could maybe continue not to get caught. But we should not do their dirty work, because nobody's gonna destroy anything I have made. And she hammers both her swords into the table. And that's what I think as captain. Yes.
Well said, Nessie. Well said.
What about you, Arne? You're so quiet. I know it's a lot to handle, and I don't think anything happened with your dad or like your family. I hope you're okay.
Well, I'm not okay. This is it's using it's just what do you choose as a what do we choose to get the help, and then us what we have built up, Cedric and I and Helgas and the others, just let it burn, or it's
I don't think that's even on the table.
No, because if anybody tries to, we will just burn them. Right, Jared? Or we will drown them. And she starts creating like a little water bubble and tossing it between her hands, like, we will drown them. Rah!
I'm not in doubt that we have plenty of tools to deal with them if they were to attack us. I'm just saying that these people have tried to go behind our back, and I don't have any particular allegiance to them, but they have contacted me before, and they might contact me again. And I think that I'll need to answer at the very moment they contact me. I don't think they will let me take it up for a group debate with you guys. As to
But you can always just tell
how
them
they're
that
looking
you're
at
on
us
the
right now, I
toilet.
don't know, and I don't know if we're looking at them in the right way either. So that's why I don't know where things will end from here.
You need to decide if you will share allegiance with the princess. You need to talk to her. You need to figure out if you want to follow her.
Yeah, I haven't spoken with her before, so
And that same goes for Marnek. Otherwise,
so I'd like to hear what she has to
otherwise
say.
we can drop you off again in Helgas, and then we will be on our way.
Okay, I have to say
Interesting
something here. Cedric and Arnik, Jared is like very literal. Like, you have to like. He's only just now learned how to speak to other humans, like humanoids, should I say? Like, the only one who could understand him when I got to know him was like our chef, and even that didn't go so well. So like, he means what he says. Just don't take it personal.
It's difficult not to take it personal, but I will try not to. I think the problem is not really allegiance here, because I don't have any allegiance to the General Development Company. I haven't spoken with the princess, so it's difficult for me to tell that I have allegiance to the princess before I've actually met her.
She is so sweet. Like she's so sweet. Like she's a princess.
She sounds like a very nice person. That being said, that's not really the essence of this debate.
No, I know. Sorry.
And the allegiance to her is not the essence of the debate. The essence of the debate is what is our next step, and I want to know what I'm trying to communicate what I would do if they do contact me again, and if I have the opportunity to take it up with you guys before I give them my answer, yeah, then I will do so. But I can't promise anything, and that's why I don't like the tone of I have to share everything at any point, because I might not have that chance to do so. I will share what I can with you at any point, which would be relevant for you to know, and that's is my word to you, because my allegiance is to Helga's and to the general welfare of the Elven Isles, and not to Cilia or the general development company in general.
Forgive me, Captain. Yes, I am not the best speaker. That is why you are my captain, and I am your servant. I have been. I am the Archmage of Westhaven. I have been in command, and it's. I need to learn to do my captain's bidding again, now being on ship. Sorry for speaking out of turn. Cedric, I am not talking about you being able to tell us before you do, if they communicate to you and they tell you to do something and you say, tell them something, and that you have to tell us beforehand, because that is not always possible. I'm saying you have to say it after the being open card with us, so we know where that your alliance is to us. I'm not saying that you have to tell everything in front, because you cannot do that. Of course, I know the sending spell. I use it all the time, and I actually know a lot about you from Trixie, as well as I know a lot of you, Arnak. And we had Arnak and me. We had a good two weeks time on the ship, going through spells. That was fun. Always liked doing that.
It was.
I just want to be clear that when doing anything that is remotely related to subterfuge, you'd have to sometimes not say everything at the immediate possible moment, but have to withhold something until it is not blowing a cover or creating problematic situations. I don't know if it's gonna happen. I just don't want to have any unfortunate situations with you guys if it so happens.
As long as we're on the ship and they are not on the ship, there should not be a problem with you telling us things.
No.
But I think we are jumping the gun. I think let's meet the princess and let's see if she accepts and you accept her and she accepts you before we do anything else. I will say this, looking at Nessie. I think we should try that ritual first. That should be our main goal now.
We are better fitted with that, yes.
I think that is a high importance.
But we still need to check if she's okay. We need to talk with her and...
Yeah. I'm saying, okay. The Elven Princess first now, and then right after our first main goal, if everything works out, should be curing your curse.
What curses we're talking about?
Nessie stands up at the table and she's like, her hands frantically up and down her body like, this is a problem. Do you remember 2 years ago? Did I look like this 2 years ago?
You were a child 2 years ago, and you're a child now.
It was definitely this much higher. And she like lifts her hand like above her head. It's like,
How
right? I was like,
Wasn't she
Up
disguised 2 years ago also?
Cedric is a bit awkward because he's not used to children, so he's not really seeing the difference between them either.
okay,
Say it in short. When I met her, she was 12. Now she's 7.
Oh, there's a difference.
Mm-hmm. And that's kind of like the wrong way up, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, definitely.
when
Usually it goes the other way.
Cedric comes with that, is there a difference? You can hear like Molly on her shoulder, like, it's head. Like, that's right. There's
well.
a difference.
I guess that makes sense that she should grow older. I actually just thought it was some thing related to her species. I didn't know.
Don't tell me
know
I'm
much
the
about.
first Genasi you have ever met.
Yes, probably you are.
She feels so offended, like really pouncing her lower lip, like, I'm a great species.
Oh, I wouldn't doubt that. You show some magnificent captaining skills, especially if we consider what age you look like.
The thing is,
You just said you couldn't see a difference.
she's losing more and more of her memory, and we need her and her memory. We need her, and we need to reverse this. I believe I might have come up with incarnation spells, rituals that can turn this. But we need some ingredients for this. We need the right place, and we need 2 strong spellcasters.
Well,
I am not a spellcaster, so I cannot help with that.
She looks at Arnek.
I will help. I will help in any way I can. For now, it's yeah. I need to do something else besides thinking about the eternal flame. So yeah, just tell me what to do and how I can help.
Nessie runs across the table down to Arnek and just plants a big kiss on his forehead, like, you're the best.
He tries to smile and yeah, but it's yeah.
It will be quite a big ritual to make, and it will be I think it will be hard just to get there, and the ritual will take some time doing, and we need protection in this time. That is also where you come in, Cedric.
I might be able to help with that.
Hopefully. Well, let's go and meet the princess. Won't you
Absolutely.
agree, Nessie?
This is curse.
Nessie leads the way. She walks across the table, jumps down, and then she opens the door to the deck. And then the door right next to it, she opens, like very slowly. Is anybody sleeping?
Well, in the captain's quarters, the Queen Wanda is sitting she's keeping an eye on things. The princess has been laid in your bed, and Lady Helafine is sitting by the end of the bed. The princess seems awake, but she's weak and she's resting. And as you come in, the 2 elves were clearly talking, but they stop as you enter. The princess is a half high elf, half air genasi. So she's very delicate. She's very thin and charming. She's got flowing hair, and her hair is like a grayish kind of color.
Hun ser meget pæn ud.
And she's got these grayish kind of eyes as well. And she kind of looks up at Nessie as you enter. You know, she kind of looks sideways up towards you. Doesn't say anything.
Nessie makes a very dramatical bow. And then she turns around to Jared, Cedric, and Arnek. It's like, she's not feeling well. And then with one finger, like, lowers them in. Like,
Yeah. Then Cedric follows in.
Jared will be in the back.
Thinking Wanda kind of escorts Lady Helifine. Wanda says, come this way. I have a cabin for you if you want. She's like, call me lady. Remember protocol, miss. And Wanda kind of leads her out, leaving the four of you with the princess, who kind of sits up in the bed. She's very scrawny, you know. She's been a prisoner, so she's dirty. She's unkept. She's kind of huddled together. She's thin and malnourished and weak. But there's still a sense of regalness about her.
can I do a medicine check to see if a healing spell could do something for her? Just to take the edge of it? Blah, 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 blah. 12? I have no clue. She's so pretty. I'm distracted.
She says, I'm okay. I just I need a bath and some new clothes. And it will be great to get out on the deck once I've rested.
Yes, I'm very sorry, but these two young, semi-young gentlemen, Cedric and Arnek, and she bows very dramatically again. It's like, I have no clue what I'm doing.
Cedric comes in and takes off his hat and his bows and says, "Milady."
Sir?
I'm glad to meet you. I've heard much about you.
All good things, I hope.
Indeed, all good things. And I've very much wanted to meet you and see if whatever's said about you is true. He's sort of looking at her, like trying to figure out what she is, because he hasn't seen an Erginasi either before. So it's
She's very mysterious, that's true. Never seen this kind of elf before. She kind of nods at you, and there's a certain freshness just being around her, and there's a very nice, fragrant aroma.
yeah. Well, I think I find it pleasant to be there. How long have you been kept a prisoner?
A few years have passed at the very least.
And why?
I am the elven princess who is researching the old elven ways.
And they don't like that.
They do not want a new power to compete with theirs.
Who doesn't like that? Unless he's just standing in the background listening and yeah.
But my goals are greater than what they believe.
And what is your goals?
I defend this world from the elemental lords, such as the Eternal Flame. That is why I've hired Captain Nessie and Quartermaster Wildroot. They are my spear that I have launched into the Elven Isles aboard our most powerful weapons to strike out at the Eternal Flame before he can bring destruction to this world once again.
Now you might be able to enlighten me about this, because I've heard, I've met the Eternal Flames cult, and I've heard about the Eternal Flame, but I have not been given the full story about what they are and why they are such a danger to the world. Other than the cult being clear nuisance trying to spread everywhere.
The Eternal Flame is one of 4 elemental lords who came to this world in the Third Age as falling stars from the sky. And their arrival brought about an apocalypse. They destroyed everything and hunted people out of this world. But there were some survivors. The most powerful of these were the members of the Order of Holios. The Order of Holios spent thousands of years throughout the Fourth Age fighting against the elemental lords. That is until they broke through into another world to dominate as well. There they mysteriously disappeared. The Eternal Flame returned to this world a few years ago and have spiked life back into its cult, the cult of the Eternal Flame, who are now spreading across the Elven Isles and into Cilia.
Does Anak know anything about the Order of Holios?
Do a history check.
Please, go in.
Cedric is just listening. Now he's at last getting information he's been asking for I don't know how long.
Vi har bekæmpet Order of Flame.
So he's very interested in hearing about this. And just listening closely. Now I understand why this Eternal Flame is such a problem. It seems working with powers that are very old and very previously have caused great problems.
The Order of Holios were the ones who blessed me. I have elven parents, but have been blessed with elemental powers to strengthen the order and ensure the destruction of the Eternal Flame. It is my purpose.
That is a noble purpose, and I don't see why we shouldn't help you. At least I shouldn't help you.
You have already done much by rescuing me from that darkness.
Well, I'm glad that succeeded.
Nu med hele forstand, det lykkes for den.
Cedric sort of steps a little back. Allows Anak to come forth.
Yeah, Anak, he stays behind. It's still so much to take in. So yeah, he just nods and stays where he is. Ja, vi bombarderer med så mange informationer, og det der er så meget, vi skal tage stilling til nu.
Jared, now I've been enlightened a little more about the purpose of this and the goal. That makes much more sense to me.
I'm glad.
You can trust that I will help the princess to the best of my ability.
Yes. We all humble try. To be fair, we fail a lot.
Det kommer sgu ikke til at lykkes.
Don't be so modest. You have succeeded at much since I hired you. Since you joined my party.
Yeah. I think we have... Yeah. It's not the big talk.
No, I see that.
If everybody is done harassing the princess, she's like, nobody's saying anything? Okay, she scooches everybody out. It's like, okay, now, let her rest. I will make sure you get a bath. What kind of flower would you like? I know Cookie will ask.
Can I have some of those, the white flowers that you used to use down in the kitchen to both as decoration and to spicing up?
Yes,
Have
yes.
such a nice fragrance.
Yeah, I will take care of everything. And it's like when everybody's out and she slowly closes the door, she's just gonna scream for Wanda. It's like, Wanda! I need you to make a bath for the princess. Nessie is not crazy, okay, you guys? I feel like he's getting more and more crazy.
Wouldn't you if you aged the opposite way?
She's 7. It's not crazy, just 7.
She's a typical 7 years old.
What's the difference?
So you're going to be sailing for a few days. So an idea would maybe be to pick out quarters. Wanda has placed Heliphine in which quarters? No, it must be these down here. And she says that Lady Heliphine insists on having the quarters for herself. The 7 here is the kitchen. And the 8s are for the crew members. This one up here is for the 2 men. This is for Jared's followers, and this is for Nessie's followers.
Yeah, except Norm. He's
Nå,
sleeping
synes jeg
in
hen for
Corson's corner.
Jeg tror ikke, at jeg har lyst til at sove nederst, hvis jeg er ung.
Jared and Gina is sleeping in this one. And
Yeah, that's why I'm bringing this up, because it gets kind of tight.
yeah.
It's getting a bit tight.
I'm also contemplating what the princess thinks of having to sleep with Norm. But Norm is like the
Kan du vide, man kan lave en
giant.
dum? Jeg har en magi, jeg kan lave sådan en kuppel, jeg kan sove
A
i.
giant one that is.
Ej, den 20 fod.
Well, the captain's quarters is quite large.
But the one with Lady Hellefine in, that was the one that Cookie and Cephalacor had before.
But now you have a noble lady who insists on having a cabin for herself.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Har ikke plads til alle.
So, Anna, you could temporarily sleep in my room. We will not be there. There are 2 beds, but I don't think we all three wizards on the same ship should sleep at the same time anyway.
Do we sail at night?
Yes, we sail all the time.
If
Who's
possible.
steering at night?
Robert or Samuel.
Okay.
But it's like low pace, so it's like
Oh, okay.
we're
It's just a
barely
question
moving,
of-
but we are moving.
Cedric can take turns sailing as well.
Jeg mangler min kat. Jeg har en kat. Jeg kan ikke se
Du kan
nogen.
sådan set selv hive den ind, Christian.
Der skal jeg lige huske.
Nej, det kan du ikke, fordi du har den ikke.
Nej.
So seven is
Nej, det kan jeg.
free right now.
That's the kitchen.
That's the kitchen.
Oh, that's the kitchen.
There's a
So-
hammock in with Robert and Samuel.
Yeah. Well, I don't think Cedric.
Or
would
you
want
can
that.
take a cell on the in the hole.
That's the problem. I don't think Cedric wants that because in a
Så en selv, ja.
if you look at like crew ranking and stuff like that, that would be like you're just either a passenger or the lowest of the lowest.
The
Or private
down
chamber.
the
Kinda
gold,
like hall.
the number 10s, those are the prison cells.
Yeah.
And the 11s with the beds, those are no, sorry, the 10s are cargo cabins. The 11s are medical bays, and the 12s are prison cells.
Yeah, no.
But I would
Cedric
imagine
wouldn't-
Cedric is used to sleeping with other sailors.
Yeah.
on the ship
Don't
with
mind
the-
that
Vi er
part.
vant til det.
I just don't want to be put in the bottom.
No, it's more of a joke. More as a
Yeah.
joke.
Well, you
but
could have done like Cash did,
Yeah.
because she didn't like to be below water. She slept on the table in the meeting room.
There's also the
Yeah, up
crow's
in the
nest.
crow's nest.
Crow's
Yeah.
nest was her first place.
Ej, der skal ikke op i
Until she
massen og sove.
starts sleeping with the captain. That is.
It's a minor detail.
Not expecting Cedric to jump in with Nessie.
You.
I think.
Well, you
he'll
never know.
skip.
After the ritual, you never know.
Ja, første time. Nå. Jeg har sjove idéer.
So how long do you want to sail for?
I
Unless
think
you
we
want
are
to-
setting sails for. We need some of these
bliver bedre lige med
material
folk på hovedet.
components for the ritual.
And where would we get them?
Yeah, that's the question.
We also need like to stock up on water and food. I don't think we had planned this escape as well as we wanted to.
For de
we
forskellige
do
farver
that in
viser
Skeleton
hvilke
before
hvem der
I would imagine that you did
fraktion, de forskellige
get
øer
the crew
tilhører.
to stock up,
Anna
even
kan
when
komme
you just arrived,
her
because you know you have a long
nedefra
journey
et eller
home.
andet sted.
So would imagine that you're completely stocked up.
Nej, han kommer i fieldet. Han er med til at bygge byen Helgas.
But we never talked about where we could find these material components.
That's because your characters don't know.
Yeah.
We need to find out where they are.
Yes.
What would be a good place to figure that out? Some old elven city?
There's a long way to the nearest, like,
There's a lot of places they don't like us.
yeah.
I think
There is-
because you let Jared take care of the policy.
All the islands with red names are islands controlled by the eternal flame.
Yeah.
Så dem skal vi undgå. Dem
I
der er røde, dem skal vi undgå.
The best
Sådan det
option
bare.
would be to go to Thundor, because we can hope that word hasn't spread yet.
Yeah.
Then you draw the path.
Where are we actually now?
Det tænker jeg også. Hvor fanden er det, vi er
on the
henne?
river from Verigo.
Yes. Great.
If we
Okay,
want to,
vi er der.
we want to find a place where we can investigate where we can find these material components. So we need to be in a place with a great library. So instead of sailing over there, we could sail down to Jared's hometown in
God
Fiske
rute, vi tager der.
to meet his mother. Oh, his mother is not there anymore, but the library is still there.
Jordan. We have 2 suggestions.
I need my cat. Jeg har brug for min kat. Hallo, jeg ved ikke, hvordan jeg udtaler det.
It's dangerous area though. If we are so
Velkommen
disliked.
til, jeg håber, du har det godt.
Fiske is outside of Celia.
No, this is part of Celia.
Oh, it's just inside. Okay.
Ja, vi sidder bare det er Pelle. Det er Pelle. Hej Pelle. Det er noget tid siden.
We're still sailing along the
Håber, du har det godt.
coast.
We can sail further out if that's, but you get better speed when you can see the coast.
Any other suggestions?
Så. Men
I
jeg
think
ved
Thunder is a good suggestion.
Jeg har ingen as, altså jeg kender ikke
We're going for
øområderne
white-
nok til, at jeg kan
white gold.
bestemme, hvor vi skal hen, så det får de bare lov til at gøre. Jeg skal lige have...
How big is Grythgul?
Big city.
Hvad sker der her?
Okay.
Not the
fordi jeg satte den på
biggest,
pause.
but
Ja.
you know, it's a...
Few
think
hundred.
Helgas.
Tror de andre
it's
også
an
har det
Elven
fint?
city.
I think we should go for it.
Sådan der.
Okay, let's
I'm
go
not
for it.
saying we have to go to that specific city. It's just like that island.
Yeah, but Grythgul is the
Jeg
closest.
går ud fra, at de andre også sætter en besked lige om lidt, Pelle.
That we know of.
Yeah, that we know of course.
Let's try.
Oh, you don't want to swirl around the open sea?
Not as a plan, but we tend to do it anyway. not as the plan.
Pelle siger hej i chatten.
Pille.
I mean,
Jeg havde ikke lige noget andet at sige til dem.
All right. So you sail down
So-
the river from Verigo while laying out a plan. The princess gets food to eat, and she gets to rest and bathe, and I would imagine that with whatever druidic powers that Nessie and Norm have, you also speed her recovery.
yeah.
Ja. Det gør de sikkert, for det vil de gerne.
So, you know, a few days after your departure from Verigo, you're not far from Skeldon and from leaving Cilia. You've been, you know, making good time, so you're pretty sure that anyone trying to follow you are behind. But probably don't have much time to stop at Skeldon. Then they would most likely catch up to you.
Vi skal bare videre.
I don't know if you have
Ej, vi er befriet,
any
prinsesse.
intentions of telling the princess where you're going.
I think Nessie makes a big deal out of just taking care of the princess because, as Jared said, that we need to do the ritual before anything. So if you can keep it on a low key and the
So,
princess
Pelle-
doesn't ask.
Vi ses. Vi kommer til at streame hver
Desperately
onsdag.
need to know right now.
Så vi er også i næste uge
A
klokken
few
20.
days after your departure from Vorigo, you know, at one point you are kind of combing her hair, since you're still tending to her, and using your druidic knowledge to tend her. She's drinking like a bowl of sweetened water that also has some healing properties, and she thanks you and says, Captain Renesmee, where are we heading home?
You can just call me Nessie. I told you that before. We are we are heading home, but we have a few stops on the way because like we don't have endless food and water. You know how Cookie can be. He's very demanding.
But Cookie's not on board.
Our chef. I was pretty sure it was
Cookie's not,
Cookie.
no, Cookie's not with you.
Oh, okay. Then just our chefs. Like we have to have good veggies and meat, and even though like so we just have to make some stops. And there's also something like Jared needs that we have to get on one of some of the aisles, and like she's deflecting but not directly lying.
Yeah.
Hun lyver ikke, men...
What are you saying? She's deflecting.
Like
what is it she's avoiding?
she was asked if they were heading home, and technically they're not. They might like transport her back, but Nessie has no idea when that's gonna be, so she's not gonna give a direct timeline on when they will be back.
Can you do a deception check?
That'd be cute.
Jeg ved ikke, om det er simpelthen god til.
That's not gonna help me. Oh, that's not bad.
God rulle, vi har rullet godt i dag.
Well, you know, you talk to her like you've done some of the past few days, and but the small talk concerns your journey and so on. You kind of deflect a lot of her questions. You give her the impression that you are actually heading home, maybe make a little detour or something. But eventually she returns to what you mentioned about Jared. She goes, what is it Jared is looking for?
Like some spell components. I think like I'm not that big into whatever he's doing. Like he reads in a book and then he can do magic. Like it doesn't come natural like for the rest of us. And he makes water and shapes it around.
Lily kind of swirls a small kind of tornado in the air.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, this is so much better. Like, I know we still need some help from nature. And she, like, fiddles with her hair. But, like, Jared, like, he's just sitting there with his big fat book that turns into an owl, and then the cutest cat ever, and then he's just scribbling, and one scroll and another scroll, and, like, apparently he needs something. And she's, like, very all over the place.
I should ask him about what component he requires. Maybe I can be of assistance. Well, how about you? You look younger. The evil seems to be taking more.
But at least you guys still respect me. I think I'm doing a good job as captain. Yes.
Yes.
But it's true.
Others do not respect a small child the same way as they do an adult. And you do not have many years left before you will be unable to lead as you're meant to.
It's actually funny now that you mention
Jeg har
it,
en
because
idé til noget, jeg kan prøve med hende, men jeg skal lige finde ud af, om jeg kan.
Jared has like been like spending time on trying to figure out what's wrong with me. Like we all know I'm aging backwards. Like, so annoying. But I think he has figured out how to do something about it. I'm not completely sure what it is. But I can fetch him for you, and then you can ask him yourself.
I would definitely be interested in hearing about his research.
Okay, but first, I need to break this one. You're almost done. You look so beautiful.
Well, you continue to bond. And, eventually... I would imagine, Nessie, that you catch Jared up on your conversation.
Yeah. It definitely isn't, like, very isn't. Okay, so she asks if we're going home, and I try not to, like, say yes directly. And she's also knows that we're looking for components and stuff, and she wants to help with that. I don't know how much you want to tell her, and I was also telling her about that you might have figured out something to do with my aging or my not aging. I'm not aging. I don't know. Jared, help me. She scares me. She's so beautiful.
Oh, I will help. Yes, we are going. We need to find these different things for the ritual. It's quite a complicated ritual, and it corresponds to a lot of magic being cast. It's not simple at all. I can go and talk to her. No worries.
Hey. Okay, bye. And then
So, eventually Jared meets with the princess, who kind of asks into his work. And at first, like you just described, Jared is trying to dumb it down. But it doesn't take long before Jared realizes, maybe he doesn't realize it at first, but the princess has a very deep understanding of the arcane arts and of magic as such. And she, Jared quickly reverts back into his kind of nerdy.
He goes in all way and talking about what magic from the two spellcasters that have to be cast for opening the ritual, and first stopping the reversed aging, and then rewind the aging, and then for finally closing off the ritual. So he's talking about these special chalk that is needed to begin the ritual. He's talking about these two different form of what you could call a kind of time stones that is needed for one to stop and to reverse, one for each.
Der er meget, vi skal have fat i, folks.
And then this incense or powder-ish stuff of components to end off the magic, and he's talking about the sizes of the spell, and that there are needed 6 spells in total, 3 from each, because 2 times 2 of them are cast at the same time. So it's enormous, and it's a ritual that takes around an hour in total.
And she asks a lot of very relevant and intelligent questions. And eventually you also kind of need to drag Nessie back into it, because Nessie's been part of some of the research. So the princess started asking Nessie questions, and eventually, Arnak and Cedric, you kind of discover that the captain, the quartermaster, and the princess seem to be completely cooped up in the captain's quarters. Or it even takes a few days that they're in there. I don't know how any of you two react.
Cedric finds it a little strange that they're cooped up in the captain's quarters, but does not want to interfere with them. Out of politeness. Still trying to find his way on the ship, and he doesn't want to.
A lot of women on this ship.
Yeah. So he don't want to like bash in if he can avoid.
Arnak?
Yeah, Arnak, he's trying to get to talk with Jared and well, also Nessie, and ask more about the curse and how she got it, and what's
so
the
Arnak
plan?
actually joins the research.
Yeah, he does.
Cedric, you feel left out. No, they're not keeping it secret. But yeah, Arnak does join the 3 spellcasters. So
Being
eventually,
3 spellcasters, I don't think Cedric actually feels left out.
Fair enough. You do eventually have 3 wizards and a druid in the captain's quarters talking about a pretty complicated ritual, and it all makes sense to all of them. I think Arnak is probably the one who has the hardest time grasping and understanding.
Probably.
Jenna will be there sometimes since he is the apprentice of Jared. So I actually believe she has a harder time believing it than.
No, true. Good point. But Nessie, I don't know if you want to answer some of Arnak's questions about this curse of yours.
Nessie was.
She's PRB. Well, okay.
So what can Cedric tell me? No, sorry, Jared tell us. What does he know?
A curse?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Do you know how she got it?
Vaguely. As I understand from Cookie, and DM stop me if I'm saying something that Jared doesn't know. I completely
very curious as to what Jared knows. So I'm not gonna stop you.
Apparently, Nessie is some kind of very powerful old being that has been sent to us to help with the internal flame. I'm not sure if it is sent back in time, front in time, or just place. But she was sent here to help us out with the internal flame, with all of her might and knowledge. But the sending went wrong, or was it part of the battle? Oh, I don't know. But there was something that went wrong at some point, and instead of her being the powers that she was meant to be, she was reversed and become more and more of a child, losing more and more of memory. So reversing her will maybe give us the power we need, or the knowledge that she possessed somewhere in her. But unfortunately, I don't even think she remembers anything anymore. And Cookie was the one that understood most of this.
I like your explanation. Very cool.
Yes. Very.
So, I imagine you kind of really immerse yourself in all of this as you sail away from Cilia and out to sea, and spending days going through books and knowledge and experimentation, and, calculations, and I don't know what.
Det er kompliceret der, folk. Det er meget vanskeligt.
It is a complicated ritual, and you try to dumb it down, but eventually you really explain every single detail of the ritual. And from the details, even after half a day, the day after, Lily starts to make corrections to to some of these rituals and some of these spells. Changes some of the somatic components, some of the verbal components, rewriting some of it, trying to explain some of the pronunciation to increase the chances of success. One of the things she also points out is that the materials, they make sense, but the time stone she believes that that component can be changed, and instead use some very specific teeth from an elderly creature, which very specific, would be able to draw out some of the same temporal effects as from a time stone, but would be easier to acquire. Still very rare component, since it needs to be very specific teeth. But she may actually know of someone who can help with that. Some of the other material components, she also says that she can acquire those. But there's a hole in the ritual where she's contemplating the I believe it was the first part which reversed the aging. Is that correct?
First one stopped the aging. The first one start the ritual, and then the first one stopped the aging.
Yeah, so the reverse aging, so it becomes normal aging.
No, just stop the reverse, and then because there are two. One stop the reverse, and then the other one start the normal aging. It's divided up in two because in one.
But she does also point out that a 7-year-old Nessie may be dangerous. A child may not survive such a ritual. And there's a way. She kind of moves around on your rituals and kind of points out that if we do this part here like this and change it a little bit, then it'll make sure that she'll survive, but she'll be an adult if the ritual is completed. But she'll definitely survive that. But it does leave out a hole earlier in the ritual where she points out, yes, but this part you can change it. But that's where I may require a specific book. I believe I can get we can get the rare teeth the same place where we can find this book. It's a legendary book.
It has Jared attention.
Also Arnax.
Also Arnax. There's a book called Zekran's Zephyrian Tome. Zekran's Zephyrian Tome. The reason why it's a legendary book is that nobody's sure of what is written in it. But if it contains what I believe it does, then it will hold the last piece of this ritual, or at least some knowledge about magic that can enable us to finish this ritual. The reason it's a legendary book is, first of all, only one exists because it cannot be copied, and that is because nobody has been able to open it. So even if we get the book, I'm not sure how we even open it and read it, and I'm not even sure what's in it. I have learned, or years ago, I learned the last known location of this book, and I believe that I have a contact that can acquire it, along with the teeth, the rare teeth. The rest of the ingredients in the ritual I can get us, but the teeth and the tome, those require us to return to Cilia.
Interesting.
If we go to the city of the Styes on the coast, not far from where we are now, then I can contact someone I know there who may be able to get us the book and the teeth.
I assume this is going on in the
During the
cabin.
research, yeah.
Then let's head for the Styes.
It's a bit risky, but yeah.
It's a 2-day journey from here to the Styes. She says it is risky, but the Styes is a decrepit place. And we use the Jolly, we may be able to enter the city undetected. At least for a time.
No matter what we do, it'll be risky. I think it's worth the risk.
Yeah. Well, it's the captain's call, so what does Nessie say?
I would say we should go with the Jolly, to be honest.
Yeah, when we get closer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you've traveled down the river for a few days and then out to sea for a few days. And then, and in more than half of that time, the number of the officers have been cooped up in the captain's quarters with the elven princess doing research. And eventually one day, Captain Renesmee Nessie comes out of the captain's quarters and orders you to turn around, sailing southwest back towards Cilia. And you notice this as well, Cedric.
We're making sure that we cannot see any ships in the horizon when we do this turn.
Cedric comes over to maybe not Nessie, but one of the others to ask to explain like what they found out in their hibernation.
Hibernation. Yep. Well, Anak.
I think he will poke to Anak because he found that Jared is sort of difficult to talk with.
Yeah.
So far, I don't think Cedric has the best impression of Jared.
No one has.
No one has.
No, I believe that. But yeah. Cedric wants to work with
I
him.
love it. It's fair. I'm playing him perfectly. I can hear.
Yep. So he, Cedric asks Anak what they found out.
Yeah, but Anak tells Cedric about the curse and not everything about the ritual because that is very complicated.
Just the broad terms.
Yeah, just what we need to do to help break the curse.
Basically, what Cedric needs to know is what can he help with. because all the magic stuff he's basically just like that, go in the one way and out another. But he understands the word tome, and he understands the word fangs. Was it?
I think you would also understand the word, the name, the styes. But if you want, you can do a history check.
I've come from the coast region of Sicilia. I assume I know that name.
And you're not sure that
I
Nessie
think
and Jared would fare very well there, and even Arnak.
I think Cedric comes a little more south than the Styes originally, but he's definitely been to the Styes.
It's like the worst place, the poorest place. It's really bad. Doesn't have as many crazy people and as in Newport, but it's bad.
Cedric is a little worried about it, but he'll try to figure it out. He'll have to talk his way through, and he had to ask Jared to keep his mouth shut. That's probably about it.
So you sail off to the southeast, to the Styes, and I'll give you a little appetizer for next week's session.
You're all gonna die.
Yes,
That's
you
an
are
appetizer.
Så en lang stream.
A few days pass as you sail
det er det,
back
Kasper, men
towards
det er
Sicily.
fordi vi spiller normalt de her 3 timer
One
her, så
day
det er det kommer til
you
at tage hver
reach
eneste onsdag
the
nu.
Styes. The Styes is...
Men vi er ved at slutte af nu, Kasper.
Yes. It's a decaying port.
Så
With a lot of blood.
Yes, this is the Styes. You see the decaying remains of a once notable port city.
det er cool, Kasper. Men jeg er også træt nu.
As you come
Og
closer,
det der er nu, det er, at vi er i gang med at planlægge, vi skal ind i en by, fordi vi skal hæve forbandelsen af en, som bliver yngre og yngre. Hun er 7 år lige nu.
you see the carcasses of the city's houses leaning against each other. They're languid, they're broken, and they're awaiting the peace of collapse. Door frames sag, dislocated from sod walls, heavy
nu
with
kom Kasper ind,
mildew,
så gider jeg ikke mere.
while splintering timbers support rotting boardwalks like broken limbs. Disappearing into the thick, rancid water of the harbor below,
Jeg er lige i gang med at finde ud af, hvilken spil jeg skal forberede mig til.
you see sections of boardwalks that have fallen away into the waters, leaving broad holes in the walkways that expose polluted water. And that's the city where you're going to find the tome and the teeth. We're going to start that next week.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes, very nice place.
Super.
Nice.
Thank you.
Så først, det var det.
That sounded convincing. Thank you.
Jeg vil sige tusind tak, fordi I smed det.
Should we let Jared level up?
Så vi snakker lige om nogle andre ting nu. Så først, jeg vil sige tusind... Nej, de kan ikke høre mig snakke, jeg har pustetår på.
Let him.
Så jeg vil sige tusind tak, fordi I så med, folkens.
He's your highest level, but he has like
jeg sender jer videre.
6,
Jeg der er på
56
Twitch.
level.
I ryger ind til Troldemor, hun sidder og streamer, hun sidder og spiller noget Scribble.
It's fine.
Så folkens, tusind tak, fordi I var med. Det var
There's a bit of a power gap.
Og så ses vi næste
There's
gang her på
clearly
kanalen.
an archmage compared to the rest of you, even to
indtil
the
da.
princess. She may have an understanding and a passion for magic, but Jared has